Alright, what's up YouTube? Doing this new segment. It'll probably be named something like, what to do or what to bring, or what to do at, say, regionals or locals, or any, place where you play Yugioh. So this segment, this first part, will be, about supplies, what to bring, and some things that you should do and shouldn't do. Let's get started. When you go to locals, especially, or regionals, you always want to have yourself a book bag to carry around to keep your stuff in. I usually keep mine on my back all the time unless I put it under my chair or by my feet, so I know that no one will take it. Um, just carry it around with you. You can carry all your binders and stuff. You can carry your mats, and that's what I use it for. So book bags are a must. Don't be carrying around all your stuff in two hands and have stuff be falling out and stuff like that. Next one, some people need to carry around this more, and uh, I've been known to not carry it around. But make sure you have dice, please. It makes it a lot easier because then we don't have to go asking around, does anyone have a dice or anything like that. I have these small dice. I mean, they're not, I mean, they're very cheap, I would say, and they come in like this box, and there's about like 40 of them in there, and just in case, so, I mean, they're very cheap, and they're dice, they're good to use. Next thing is, calculators. Some people I see use the huge, like, giant calculators. I don't know why. Whenever I use a calculator, I use my phone. But you can also use other things like my phone. I can just go on to calculator, and it'll take away things. Like I could say 800 life points. Then just take away. It's very useful. But you can use a regular calculator too, like one of the small ones. About the size of. It's about the same size of a card. Um, so, and they're very cheap too. So, yeah, calculators I don't see. Please don't try to do it in your head unless it's. I mean, at locals you can, because it's not. It's very relaxed. You don't have to really worry about exact life points and things. Like, usually when I don't use a calculator, I'll just say, well, let's just say if I don't do anything next turn, then I lose. Um, but that's usually the only time where you shouldn't use a calculator, or you don't have to, is at locals. Um, and sometimes your opponent keeps track of it, even if you're not. Or really, you could just use. I mean, you could just use a piece of paper and a pencil. I mean, that's the old way to do it. I mean, you still have to do some math in your head, but it shouldn't be that hard. You're subtracting. Um, Next thing, we'll talk about sleeves and different types of sleeves. These sleeves I'm using are all right now. They're not the best, because if you can tell, I won't use these at regionals or anything like that, like official tournaments, because they are uneven. I'm not sure if you can tell by that, but they are uneven, and it's not because they're different sleeves. It's just the way that the place made them. It was just they're all right quality. They're good. I use them at locals, but sleeves you use at like tournament stuff. You can use like Ultra Pro or Player's Choice, places like that. Please don't use these sleeves that you got in the tins. They're just bad and not good. I mean, look at that. They're like paper. Sorry, that's the phone. But I mean, just don't even use them. These are probably good for like binders, at the most. I would only use these for cards and binders. But on to the next thing. Binders. Uh, so binders, there's a couple good ones. And some are more than others, but don't really, I wouldn't suggest using these kind of binders, except if it's like a crappy, not so good binder, because as you can see, first of all, these binders, they get damaged very easily, and they can rip, and this little cardboard piece can come out, and stuff like that. Also, these pages, I mean, if I turn this binder upside down, all these cards will fall out, which I don't really want to do, because then I have to play like 2,000 card pickup, which is not fun. So don't use this binder unless it's the only thing that you have to, and you don't have any money, and you're seriously broke, because they're just not good. The binders that I would use are binders like, for the cheaper ones. These kind of binders, they're like $5 to $10 each for this small 4x4 binder, or 2x2. Each page has like 4 slots on each page, but for your high-end stuff, I would usually prefer a monster binder like the one that I have. I mean, I keep some of my deck stuff in it just to keep it safe, so it's not damaged. Like, I'll show you the first page. Like, this is the Blackwing deck. I keep it on the first page. Now I keep them in the sleeves, and I could just take them out and play with them, shuffle them into the deck. But monster binders, they go in through the side instead of through the top, so then they don't fall out. And they keep your cards really protected, and sometimes you don't even need to sleeve them. Like, they're just fine in it. Like this one, it's not sleeved, so, and I can just stick it back in there, and it won't be damaged, unless someone really like throws it or something bad happens, which most people don't do that. So really, if you have the money, it's good to invest into a monster binder, because they are useful, and they're good for protection and things like that. Plus they're fun to scratch. But on to the next thing, the last thing that I'll be talking about this segment. We'll be talking about deck boxes, or the second to last thing, deck boxes. I mean, you don't even have to have. I mean, you can just get Ultra Pro has deck boxes like this, and I just have this for now, but I'm getting a couple more through the mail. But like this one, it's nice because it has this little thing over it and it doesn't fall. It keeps your side deck or extra deck in order. It has this little space between it, and you could keep other stuff in there, like if you really want to, dice and stuff. Last thing that I'll go into is probably mats, if I can get mine out. And these mats, it's preferred to have a mat because then your cars don't get wrecked by the tables. Especially at my locals, the tables some of them are pretty crappy. So it's always preferred to use a mat. Like, you don't even have to have a Yugioh mat, just have a mat. Like this one, this mat is just a World of Warcraft mat, but it works because the car doesn't get messed up on the back, and it doesn't get scratched up and things like that. It's easy to slide around and things like that. So yeah, that'll be the segment for this one. Just to go over things, always bring your mat. Don't use crappy sleeves like that, because they're just bad. It's good to invest into a monster binder because they protect your cards. Make sure you have a couple dice with you. Make sure you have a book bag to keep your stuff in, and make sure you have a calculator, or at least a phone, or even some pieces of paper and a pencil to really keep track of your life points. But yeah, this is segment 1, and I'll post segment 2 or part 2 in a couple, and it will probably go on about playstyle, and what not to do and things like that. But thanks for watching.